an angle I've been using a lot on Friday is that, road favorites in game ones are kind of a short list play for me because they're usually focused. They're on the road. We're getting a discounted price, and then we can have some other subsets that make it even better. And when home teams are coming off a road trip, I like it even more. And that's kind of the setup in this game tonight on Monday, and that's Houston at San Francisco. Giants return home after being on the road last week at Arizona and Texas. Mediocre. They kind of split out on the road trip, but overall they're not in good current form. They've lost 7 of their last 10. Offensively, they've been very challenged at times this year. But Houston is a team that was a pure fade the first couple months of the year, but they still have World Series pedigree and caliber. And what really hurt them early on was the bullpen. Horrific bullpen numbers early this season. But Brian Lennon and I actually talked about this a lot in April and May, that they still have a lot of the key pieces in that bullpen, and some of those stats are misleading, and that's definitely turned out to be the case because if you look, Houston now has a 3.7 ERA, a 1.27 whip, and that's after the terrible start. Their numbers have been even better the last couple of months with the bullpen. So I do think this is maybe a play-on team now. They have won 4 of their last 6. They're hitting the ball well. They've had double-digit hits in 5 of those last 6 games, and I think this is a focused spot. I disagree with the early money coming in on the Giants. Houston opened 125 overnight. It's down to 115 now. I think there's value, and it's a good situational spot with the Astros tonight at 9:45 Eastern.
So you talked about the success of the Astros bullpen. Of course, Houston's bullpen cost them another game yesterday. Presley gets bombed in the 8th. Hader gets bombed in the 9th. And those are the 2 guys that Houston absolutely needs to close out games at the end. Both of them got used up last night. Both gave up multiple runs. Does that concern you here? Would you look at a first 5 instead of a full game based on the potential for Houston to have bullpen concerns again this evening?
Well, Teddy, I think that's actually one of the reasons this line has dropped from 125 to 115. It's a little bit of concern there with the closers. Arrighetti's getting the start also. He is not likely to go very deep. So I think that's the one concern here, and I do agree that's why we saw some early money come in against Houston. But once again, not a good spot for San Francisco. And Harrison's been very mediocre this season, the starter for the Giants. In fact, his last 5 outings, he's given up at least 3 earned runs or more in every one of those outings. And he's only gone past the 5th inning once in those 5 outings. So could be a high-scoring game. Maybe we look at the over as well. You're talking me into an over 8 opinion also in this game now.